Welcome back to another episode of the Accounting Leads Now podcast. Super excited for today's show. We got an incredible guest who's joining us. Most accounting firms try to grow by saying yes to everything, more clients, more services, more complexity. But that approach usually leads to burnout, low margins, and inconsistent results. Today's guest made a different move. He narrowed his focus, built his firm around a specific niche, and turned that decision into a major growth lever. In this episode, we break down how he chose his niche, what changed once he committed to it, and how you can apply the same strategy to simplify your business and grow faster. Emil Abedian, founder of Counsel CPAs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, James. Appreciate it. Thank you. That was a nice introduction.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to have you here, Emil. Right out of the hopper, right out of the gate, I would love to hear how you chose working with law firms. Did you have a background in law? What led you to wanting to pick that niche?
Yeah, no, I do not have a background in law. Absolutely not. It happened over time. I didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what, today I want to work with law firms and I want to put everything else on the side. That didn't happen. Maybe that would be a better approach, but that's not the reality. I started my firm 16, 17, 18 years ago, probably 2008, 9, somewhere right there. So when you just start off, many accountants who listen to this know, like you're just happy that the phone rings. At least back in the days, the phone were actually ringing. I took on anything that came my way, like a tax client, bookkeeping client, sales tax client, payroll client, you name it. You want me to do a cash flow analysis? I do that. And when you do that, you very quickly realize that, oh shit, man, I'm doing all of these different services for everybody who knocks on the door in different ways, different systems, different processes. It was just creating so much headache. Yes, you were putting food on the table, but I was not building a business. I was building a high paying job for myself, which was a chaos. I was working 80, 90, sometimes 100 hours a week just to get around. After a while, you kind of get your stuff together. You kind of start looking into your own book of business. Who am I working with? Who do I enjoy working with? Who's paying me the best? Who can I provide value to? I kind of nailed it down to the law firm industry. And this was probably years in after me starting my practice. Again, didn't happen overnight. So law firms became a little more and more priority for me. And as you work with a group of people, they tend to hang out with similar people, and they started referring their friends and their other law firm lawyer colleagues to me. After a while, I had probably about 25% of my book of business ended up being law firms. And this is just a few years ago, not long ago. And that's when I decided that I really want to go all in the legal industry and just do law firms. Still at that point, my law firm book of business was still relatively small, maybe 25 to 30% of book of business. I had enough. I said, you know what? I want to go all in. I want to build a business and not only a high paying job for myself. And it was a big risk that I took at that time where I got rid of my non-law firm clients. When I say got rid of, I have other people do that. I'm not involved in that process anymore. The clients are still taken care of by someone else that probably better suited than myself. And we started building a team of accountants that are only working the law firm. That's how it started. It was a long answer to a quick question.
No, it's perfect. Because a lot of firms listening to this have either already niched down, they're thinking about niching down, or they're like, no, I don't know. I got to say yes to everyone, and that's totally fine. You start a business, like you said, most important thing, keep the lights on. It's fun to live indoors and it's fun to eat food. So you got to take on whoever you can. Talk to me about the mental hurdle that eventually got you to the point where you're like, okay, I can say no to people, and I may be turning down revenue here, but really it's opening a wider door over here. Because I think that's the biggest fear that business owners in general face is I'm saying no to revenue that I know I could help someone, but the reality is it will slow you down. It will be an anchor if you're not focused on who you truly want to be working with. So how did you overcome that mental hurdle?
I mean, 100%. I mean, the alternative cost of doing something rather than doing something else that could generate a lot more is huge. And at least for me, I knew, like everybody talks about, not everybody, like a lot of people talk about it, but until you really hit the wall yourself, it's hard to realize it and hard to wake up. I can sit down in here and tell you as much as I want, go through all of my experience, but unless you really, that's my opinion, that's how I learned, but unless you really do it yourself and hit the wall, it's hard to kind of learn from other people's mistakes. So I learned from my own mistakes. And the way I started fixing the problem was just inch by inch. I didn't change the world, my own world overnight. So what I did, I kind of started looking up at my book of business and gradually changed my clients, not all at once. So the way you can do it, you can just basically grade your clients with A, B, C, D clients, and then start with the lowest one, all the declines. And maybe the way I did it, I found another CPA who had started up and kind of give this book of business with him, and we cut a deal together. And these were still very good clients for him. I wish someone gave that kind of book of my D clients to me when I first started up because I didn't have that. So he was happy. Those clients were still very good for him. I was happy. My clients were happy. My team is very happy because now they only do one thing and they do that great. We have one kind of systems and processes in place for all our clients. We don't do sales tax for one client. We don't do payroll for another one. If client comes to us, they have to get into our model, and we have to do the accounting. We have to issue financial statements monthly. We have to see you on a quarterly basis. We have to do tax planning and tax preparation. Obviously, that's not something we mandate. IRS mandates that. So that was different. The main difference from my past practice where the clients were dictating the services. Now we are dictating the services. We are telling them what kind of services we offer based on their needs. Because most of the time, clients don't know what they need. They know that they have to file a return, but that's about it. They don't know how much a CPA can actually provide value to them with their knowledge and expertise they're sitting on. So I think it's our responsibility as CPAs, accountants, to really sit down and explain to our clients that this is what I can do for you. If this is not what you want, I understand, then I'm not a good fit for you. Then there's millions of other accountants out there that will do what you want. H&R Block will file a return for you if you want that. But what are they going to offer you?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so going back to your question, sorry, James, I kind of went off track here a little bit. Well, you got to start small. I mean, I don't think you can just get rid of all your non-law firm clients, like in my case, overnight. I started small. I started with D client, C client, B client. Right now, all my clients are A clients. I
yeah.
want to work with all of my clients right now.
And that's all intentional. Like that also didn't just happen overnight. Like
No,
you've built the business you wanted because you were super intentional about it. Another way to go about that, if you're not in the position of dropping off clients, which and maybe you did it as well, but you slowly just start saying no to everything that's coming in. So it's not even, all right, I'm going to get rid of them, still going to keep them on the books, but we're just no longer saying yes to the electrician. We're not saying yes to the HVAC, to the dental firm that's coming in, to this referral who's completely out of the way. Because what you just spoke about, you have an assembly line now that your team just knows. Everyone's going through each step. You're not making custom orders every time, which just causes so much chaos and slows the process down a ton.
exactly. And by that, when you do these custom orders, and you're actually doing the client a disfavor because now they're outside of your assembly line. They're not following the kind of the railing here. So you got to pick and choose. I mean, it just creates too much headache. I don't think it's worth it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Get really good at one thing or be mediocre at a ton.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you were mentioning you're doing your clients a disservice by not asking or essentially not asking the right questions. Clients don't always know what it is they need. A lot of the case it's they just don't know what they don't know. Similar to, if I show up to go get my car repaired, I don't know what I don't know. Like I'm good to fill up the gas and know to change the oil every once in a while. That's about the extent of my car knowledge. But when clients show up to accounting firms, they might not know what they don't know. They think I need someone to look at my books. and I need to file my return every year. The onus is on you to ask the right questions to then say, hey, actually, they can make a really good advisory client, or they really need tax planning because maybe they just think paying 100 grand every year in taxes is just the way it is. So, can you share a little bit about your experience, how you've built your firm, maybe how you've coached your team members to ask those questions to identify and lead your clients versus just be the order taker?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I, I mean, majority of the time, client comes to us because we're a CPA firm. We do accounting, obviously, but they come to us because they're overpaying in taxes. So they come to us. They ask us to do tax planning because right now they work with a tax preparer, someone who just prepares the return but does not do planning. But they come to us and want us to do the planning for them, which is perfect. But you can't just jump into the planning portion and start doing planning without all the legwork done. So it's my responsibility, my team's responsibility to sit down with you, James, as my client, and say, James, I understand that you want in-depth tax planning for us to minimize the liability when we file a tax return. But in order to do that, I need to do all of this before. I need to do your accounting regularly. I can't do your accounting in January for last year and do the tax planning for you because it's too late. I can put your SEP IRA and save you $5,000 or $10,000 in taxes, but that's about it. If you want in depth, you want me to save you hundreds of thousands in taxes, I need to do your accounting. We need to sit down every quarter. I need to know, understand from you throughout the year where you're going, what your caseload look like, what are, especially for contingency based cases. They might have a loss until October, November, and then all of a sudden in December, they close a big case and they have millions of dollars in profit. I need to be aware of that. And if we don't talk, if we don't communicate throughout the year, how am I supposed to do that? That's what we do when we first take on a new client. We don't just sign up based on what they ask us to. We sit down, we have a conversation, maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour, maybe several meetings. It happens several times, many times that we actually meet with clients, potential clients, several times. For me, main thing for me to understand what I can help you with. And that's just by asking questions. Keep on asking. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What are you looking for? To answer your question, how to do it, you need to communicate with them. You can't just have a 5 minute conversation and close the deal and move on. We're not selling shoes. We're not selling candy. And I mean, you're selling services, and hopefully these clients will stay with you for years. I mean, once we sign up a client, knock, knock, knock. I mean, we work with them for a very, very long time. I mean, I don't know how many clients we lost, not many. So,
Yeah.
and that's an investment you're doing. Like, isn't it worth to talk to them an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, even if necessary? You don't do 5 hours, but 5 hours if you're going to work with them for years and years and years to come.
Yeah.
Communicate. I think that the key is the communication. Talk to them, understand their needs, and explain. You got to be able to explain your value also. Why do I need to do your accounting on a monthly basis? That's because I need all the data. We need reliable data. I need to understand your financials to get to where our end result is.
Yeah, and for those who are listening who feel, "Oh, my clients wouldn't like that," or, "What if someone gets upset?" Okay, no problem, you're not a fit then. There's a lot of firm owners that we speak to, and when we start asking questions, similar to how you mentioned, like, you're in that discovery phase at the front end. If they feel we're asking too many questions or this has turned into an interview, okay, well, we can't help you if we don't know what you're currently doing or what you've
Yeah.
tried in the past or how long you've done it. I always say you have to be the doctor that pushes on the bruise. And we're just like you. We're not just going to be an order taker and, oh, you need marketing. Cool. Let's do marketing. No, because that's too vague. We need to we need to know what hasn't worked, what's worked, what have you tried, where are you trying to get to? Can we even help you? And you can't do that without asking questions. So I really
Yes.
love that you're doing that, Emil.
And clients actually appreciate that. I mean, I
The
don't
right
remember.
ones.
I mean, I honestly, even the wrong ones, even though if we don't sign them up, most of the, I can't remember a client or potential client or prospect that really got upset by me asking this question. They enjoy that. They want someone on their side. Business owners are craving advisory, consultation. And when they feel that you care, when you ask the right questions, you can't ask stupid questions, obviously. You got to be very
Yeah.
targeted. You got to know what it is. But when they feel that you really care about them, you want to help them, they appreciate that. Might not be the right time at that time. They might not sign up, which happens a lot of times, but that's fine. As you said, there are millions of clients. And I think a lot of listeners here can agree with me. In today's world, especially in accounting, our challenge to grow firm is not getting new clients. Our challenge is to be able to manage and provide good service and build a team that can support your clients. I might be wrong, but that's my challenges right now. I mean, my challenges are not. Maybe it's because of my specialization, because we don't typically sell. We just tell them what we can do, and then they have to make a decision. I don't like to sell, but the challenge is to build a team that's with you, with your vision, understands your vision, and want to kind of push the firm forward.
Yeah, I love that. So, Emil, tell me a little bit about your niche down into the legal space. How do you get the phone ringing at your own firm now? Where do you guys get your inbound opportunities, leads? Where are your sales opportunities coming from?
Yeah.
I know the listeners, that's always what people are asking. Like, how do we bring on more revenue? I would love to hear how you guys are doing that at your firm.
Absolutely. And honestly, I mean, I don't know how to say it doesn't look stupid, sounds stupid, but we get more calls in than we want at this moment. And that's where it goes back to where I said the challenge is not to get new clients. The challenge is
Yeah.
to be able to build something that you can provide quality to your client. I just don't want to grow a firm. I want to grow a firm that has the reputation of providing excellent service. So where is it coming from? Just let's go back one step. What I
Okay.
built in over 15 years, I don't know, it's 2009, let's say 9 to over 15, about 16 years before we split these entities up in the law firm division. We are reaching that now in less than 2 years. Less than two. I mean, we get to that point way before 2 years. Within 2 years, we'll surpass it with probably 10 to 15% at least of what we had built in 15 years. That shows the specialization. It's not BS. It's not just a marketing trick. It's not just something for me to stick out on Instagram. I'm doing law firms only. It really works. Because number one, when you know what you're talking about, you know what your clients want, because that's all I see. I only talk to lawyers. I don't talk to mechanics. I don't talk to dentists. I don't talk to I talk to lawyers, doctors. I only talk to lawyers, and I hear their same story over and over and over again. Their headaches, their issues, their problems. What do they need help with? What are they looking for? So when I jump on a Zoom call with a potential client, before you even start talking, 80% of the time I know what you will tell me, what your issues are. So we relate to each other. So I don't have to sell. I'll just tell you, this is what I will do to solve your problems. You like it? Excellent. If not, that's fine. So that's kind of creates a snowball effect for you where you don't actually have to sell. So your selling process becomes a lot easier. That said, you still have to be out there. They still have to find you somewhere. And content is, I think, is the key. I don't do as much marketing and content kind of writing and posting as I should. But even with the small amount that we do videos, small short videos, 1 minute videos, tips of anything, anything that create value for your client. Doesn't have to be tax tips. They don't really typically care for tax tips. If you are a CPA providing services, they want advice. They want business advice. At least my type of client, my lawyers, they want advisory services. So we talk about anywhere from leadership to management to sometimes tax tips, how to grow your law firm, how to talk to your employees, how to talk to your clients, what to do with your clients. So those kind of tips for my industry, LinkedIn works really, really well because lawyers are living in LinkedIn. Each industry have its own small paces. If you're targeting individuals, obviously Instagram and Facebook might work better. You're the marketing guru, James. I'm not. I'm just saying based on my own experience.
No, no, it's perfect.
And one thing that I really, really like, and I really strongly recommend all kind of CPA firms to do that, is weekly emails to clients and prospects. And when I say email, don't send them bullshit IRS guidelines, tax tips. Did you know you can pay your kids this much money? Everybody talks about that on Instagram. Talk about real problems, real issues that business owners face. And I'm assuming most listeners here are working with business owners. I'm just assuming. I might be wrong, but at least in my case, I'm writing a weekly letter email to prospects and clients about real life problems law firm partners are facing and what to do about it. Just as an example, look at your financial statements at least on a weekly basis. You got to look at them. I mean, you got to look at your financials to see where you're standing. You don't necessarily have to look at the profit and loss statement, but you need to have some kind of dashboard to look at your KPI, your employees utilization rate, realization rate, your AR, to understand, to know where your business is, just as an example. So real life business problem issues, send an email to your clients. They know you care. They see that you understand, that you know what they're doing. It really helps. I mean, that's been very, very user friendly for us. And clients and prospects even that are not clients email us sometimes back. Oh, I love this tip. Thank you so much for sharing it. We look forward to your next one coming up. So it's a good one. I got this from my own business coach. I'm using a business coach. I've used them for many, many years, and they do this for their clients. And I look forward to get this email from my coach every week because it gives me something coming in.
Yeah,
So
that's great. You nailed it where you're like, you're not just sending an email with a bunch of junk for the sake of, oh, I
yeah,
sent an email. Like, what is actually going to help them? What can they implement from this right away? A hack to this. I mean, just take the conversations you're having with your clients. What was the one problem that stood out that week? Or what are prospects saying to you? That's your content. It's not, you don't need to overthink coming up with
no,
the content. It's what is actually happening in conversations. What problems did your team members face this week with the clients? Okay, let's write about that. Let's solve for that. So the next prospect who comes through, boom, we have the solution.
you have
So
a point. Even not what your client, what issues are you facing with your own team? Because I'm running a similar business as my own clients. It's the same business. We just offer different services, but the same business, law firm, CPA. So issues that we are facing internally, which we have a lot of issues as any other business. I talk about that. This is what we issue. This is the problem I had. For example, my team is not putting their time on a weekly basis in on the timesheet. That's one issue. We solved that now. But what did we do? Hey James, just want to reach out. You know, we had this issue in our firm, and these are the steps I took to solve this problem. And now we don't have that anymore. If you have this issue for your firm, you might want to consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to move.
that's
It's
great.
simple.
Super actionable and they
It's very
can
simple. Keep it simple.
drive.
Don't complicate it. I mean, client, they're busy. They don't want a crappy IRS code, section of 482. Who gives a shit? Just help them, man.
Yeah, no, I love that. So you were talking about maybe not putting out that much content on your side. You have the email. Is it a capacity issue inside with the team, or how are you trying to navigate those waters? And are you looking to put more content out there? Like, is that a goal for the firm, or are you guys content with what you have going out right now? Because I mean, bottlenecks are bottlenecks, right? So I'm just curious how your firm is overcoming that.
No, it's a bottleneck for sure. I mean, the more you put, the more you're gonna get out there. The algorithm are working. The better, the better. As you know this better. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but what I know based on my own experience is that the more we put out there, the more calls we get in. And we don't do any ads or anything. I can just imagine if we start doing that, how much more traction we'll get. Ours is all organic, blogs, posts, videos that we put on social. And I mean, even if we don't do it, like there were a couple of months that were really busy and we stopped doing some content. The calls were still coming in. I think there's something happening in the back because I'm sure it's coming because we didn't do anything, but the calls were still coming in from entire country. I mean, our
That's
clients
cool.
are nationwide.
You're getting a lot of calls. That's not a problem you mentioned, but it almost sounds like there like is filtering out those calls also a bottleneck? Like we're getting the calls doesn't seem to be the problem. It's or the quality of the calls where you want them to be.
I mean, it could always be better, but we don't qualify all calls coming in, obviously.
Okay.
But we are very intentional with our content, where we are talking about services we offer. I never talk about tax preparation. Let me prepare your tax return. Or, I mean, that's just something we have to do. That's mandated by the government for us to file. I talk about all the steps up to the tax preparation. So by the time the lead or the prospect calls us, they have a very good understanding of what we do and how we work. I think that that's something we as accountants have to be really work with, and work with someone like you as a marketing team to teach us that, to talk about things that you actually want to offer, and not only the tax tax return preparation. Because I don't want to prepare a tax return. I
Yeah.
want to do everything up to preparing a tax return. We prepare a tax return because we have to, but anybody can prepare a return, but not anybody can do the planning, provide the data to your clients that they can use to make smart decisions. KPI reporting is, for example, a big part of what we offer. We offer weekly, monthly not financials we do also, but actually key performance indicators, utilization rate, realization rate, billing, your trust account shortfall, like a bunch of KPIs that lawyers can look at and kind of get a quick insight of their operation.
What I'm hearing, Emil, is you guys really are sitting in that control center of the law firm so that your clients have full financial visibility, can make the best decisions to run their firm. And it's a huge piece that they don't have to think about because they know they have the trusted team in the background doing that. And you can't do that without getting specific in an industry. It's hard. It would be really hard to do that for 20, 30 different industries.
You nailed it, James. I was not able to do this in my prior practice because
Yeah.
which one am I learning? Like, am I gonna learn the doctors, the dentist, the engineer? I mean, there's so many. Even within law, you can really niche down. We're not there yet, but that's something we are looking into. Niche down in just couple of practice areas instead of doing all kind of law, and get even more niched in it. And I think that's gonna even be another revolution for but we'll see step by step.
That's cool. So a couple final questions then for you, Emil. Kind of leading into what you just said, like what's next for the firm?
Everybody talks about AI automations. We are utilizing some, and I think it's more than just AI. I don't think AI is the biggest thing for us. It's more of automations can really make the firms more efficient and take away. Not that I want to get rid of my team. Absolutely not. I want to take away the data entry work, which QuickBooks is doing most of that right now. But there's still a lot of data entries in our operation. If that goes away, then our team can really focus on value add services and provide advisory, feed our clients with data and information, and talk to them about it rather than sitting and wasting time doing
Yeah.
it. So automation in combination with AI, I think is the next step that we really have to focus on in the next couple of years.
I really like how I'm not looking to get rid of my team. How can I make them more effective and
Yeah.
efficient in their role? Because then the whole ship rides with that tide. It's not how do I just save more money and pocket it for myself as the owner? No, we want everyone just doing more and more valuable stuff. So I
Value
really
is
like that
number
answer.
one. I mean, value every day I wake up, my number one target or focus is how can we provide more value to our clients? What can we do today for our clients to get more value? The more value you provide your client, the more sticky you are. I mean, we might be egoistic thinking that in that way, but that's what it is. The more value I can give you, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's very important. And with AI, with automation, I don't think accountants are going anywhere. Absolutely not. Like a lot of people are saying, AI is going to take away our jobs and all that. Maybe some jobs, but accountants will, I think, get more valuable with automation and AI if you use it right. If you use your team for talking to clients, because for example, our policy here at the firm is we got to get back to our clients within 24 hours. If we don't get back to you within 24 hours, then we're failing. And I need people to do that. Like, I can't fire them just because I have automations doing the accounting. Somebody have to reach out to the client and talk to them and email them and communicate with them, have Zoom calls with them. So then we have an even more manpower and stronger team to do that. So absolutely, I think future is bright.
Very cool. Yeah, AI is never going to replace the human to human
Yeah.
interaction, whether that's in person, whether it's on Zoom. It's people are still going to crave that. We're still humans. So, yeah, cool. AI is awesome. It can do a lot of cool things, but like actually sitting down and speaking to your clients, that is going to be very hard to replicate. Maybe in
Maybe
2 years or 6 months, I don't know. I'll be, eating my words on this. We'll see how AI turns out, but I feel pretty confident on that. Then just to segue into the last question here, Emil, you're talking about adding value. It's what you wake up. It's what you want to do. For the listener who's listening to this right now, who's like, cool, I got to implement one thing from this episode to go and push my firm forward a little bit more. What is that actionable piece of advice you would share with them listening right now so that when this episode it concludes, they can go implement something right away that's like, sweet. That moved the needle within my firm.
there are a couple of things I would like to bring it up, but one thing is the sooner you specialize, the better it is. The more ahead of the game you will be. Do not wait. It will not happen overnight, as we discussed. Like, I mean, you cannot just wake up today. I'm going to work with doctors, and that's it. I'm getting rid of all my clients. No, but you step by step. Number one, as we said, grade your clients. Start with the worst clients and go downwards. And the sooner you do it, the better. And it will happen inch by inch. It will not happen all overnight. I think that would be my advice. I mean, take the steps, move forward. Soon, as long as you feel like you're improving every day, even if it's just half an inch, that's what we want.
Awesome. You said there's a few others. I'm very curious to hear what's one more. That's sound advice, the inch by inch, but what's one more? We're
I mean,
throwing a bonus one for the episode
yeah,
today.
I mean, the specialization is number one. The second one I would say is build a business and not a high paying job for yourself. I wrote a book. I didn't want to talk about that, but I wrote a book, Counsel to Counsel. It's actually behind me right there, if you see me. Right, right there. Counsel to Counsel. And it's a very practical book for law firms, how to build and grow a business, not to build a law firm, how to build a business. And it's basically examples of my own clients, success stories, failures, what some clients that are really successful or have done, and what other ones that are not as successful have done. And the main takeaway from that book is build a business and not a practice or a high paying job. And that's by thinking outside of the box and really run an operation. I know it's easier for me to sit down and prepare a tax return rather than creating the systems and processes for someone else to do it. But that's not a business. Then I'm doing it and I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
put your time, go through and see your operation, see your business as a business and not just as a job.
Yeah, I love that. Just zoom out is what I'm hearing and just
Yeah,
really get an overview on it.
I
Awesome.
think
Emil, thank you so much for coming on the Accounting Leads Now podcast. I really enjoyed picking your brain, hearing about how you got niche down into the legal space. How can people get in touch with you if they want to continue the conversation and pick your brain?
yeah, absolutely. And if I can help anybody, there's no competition out there in our industry. There's so many clients. You just have to do it right and get in front of them and have someone like James help you to get in front of them. Clients are out there. You just got to get in front of them. That's all it is. But I'm big on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I respond to all my LinkedIn messages myself. I don't have someone else do that yet. But message me on LinkedIn. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Emil Abedian, my just first and last name. And if I can do anything, I would love to help you.
Cool. We'll make sure all that stuff's in the show notes. Again, Emil, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, James. Thank you so much, sir. Talk to you soon.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Accounting Leads Now podcast. If you got something out of today's conversation, do me a favor. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode and leave us a review wherever you're listening. It genuinely helps this show grow. And the bigger this community gets, the better the conversations we can bring you. Now, here's the part I actually care about most. If you're running a firm and you're still relying on word of mouth to bring in new clients, I want you to hear this. Referrals aren't a growth strategy. I'll say that again. Referrals are not a growth strategy. They're a hope strategy. If you're ready to stop hoping and start building a system that brings qualified prospects to you consistently, go to accountingleadsnow.com and book a call with my team. We work exclusively with accounting, bookkeeping, and tax firms. We'll look at your situation specifically and tell you what we would do if it was our firm on the line for bringing in new clients. And if you want to go deeper on your own first, I wrote a book called Booked Solid: Digital Marketing Strategies That Actually Work for Accounting Firms. It's the digital marketing playbook built specifically for accounting, bookkeeping, and tax firms. Link to grab a copy is in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.